members.
All right.
Yeah,
So
it's great.
it's
So
it is because
it is great because we can do camping now.
oh yeah, you
No football.
okay.
For now.
You can change your weekly activities.
Yeah, we have a plan. We have a camp. We will go to the mountain
Okay.
camp this this weekend.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's really nice to relax and
Yeah.
avoid the noisy and crowded city life.
Yeah. It's uh they have a topic for Christmas.
Oh, what is
Oh, it's
it?
a Christmas. It's a Christmas camping.
Ah, okay. Oh, it's their theme.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will change our gift.
Uh-huh.
hmm
You'll have exchange gift. What
Yeah.
else?
And last year we have singing and
Uh-huh.
dancing. Yeah.
Dancing. All right.
And singing.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
So
Mm.
you said that was last week. That's the party.
Last year, last week we
Yeah,
have the football team's party.
party. So which
Yeah.
one is um happier or what's the difference from last year's party compared
Mhm.
to this last week party?
Last year's party.
Uh-huh.
Last year's Christmas party, we have a camp on the mountain. It's near, I think, the 300 people's big party.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
hmm And have the host. The host.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, they have a lot of gang with us. And after play the game,
Mm-hmm.
we are singing. We are singing and dancing. Then children exchange their gift
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
each other. That's all.
So this year you didn't go camping, you just have a party.
No camping.
Oh, you did?
It's okay. Yeah. Last year we have the camping and booking next year
Uh-huh.
camping. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing. All right. So what we're gonna do for tonight is that let's go ahead and go over your answers. So we are currently on page 7, right?
Yep.
I can't wait to comment on your daughter. She's already very good. She's, you know, every time we had a class, it's like she's really improving.
But she need to finish their practice before 9 o'clock. I don't know why. With Daddy, she always late.
Really? Okay.
Because she her schedule
Mm-hmm.
to practice piano
Uh-huh.
is 8 to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Not now.
Wow. Well, that's actually better, compared to not completing an hour of practice. Right? It means she really likes what she's doing.
She like play the piano.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and to record it
Uh-huh.
and show up to other people.
Okay. Yeah, because she's proud, that, she's only 7 years old. However, she's already that good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, she
I,
is. Because if you're going to compare her to other students, because for her, she really knows what she wants,
mm-hmm,
right? And playing the piano is that you just mentioned her practice should had ended at 9 p.m., but still she's still, practicing playing the piano.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But the only thing she like is piano.
But it's okay. It's better that you're good in one thing
I
rather
think
than
it's I think she's too lazy. No
why?
sporty. No
What?
sport.
Lazy?
Don't.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
about
very lazy.
sports. So you want her to like sports also.
Yeah.
It's okay because it's better that you're very good on one thing rather than you know everything but you're not a master of one
Mm-hmm.
thing. Do you know this saying that you're a jack of all things?
Mm-hmm.
If they say you're a jack of all things, which means you know a lot of things, but then you are not a master. You're not a master of none.
Mm-hmm. But her brother like to play football,
Mhm.
and she don't want to go with us. She likes stay at home.
Maybe because it's very hot.
Yeah, because maybe sunny or maybe too
Yeah,
hot.
it is maybe very hot. Or maybe there's no other girls except her.
Yeah,
See?
yeah.
Because if she's the only girl, then there's no other girls, then definitely it's gonna be boring for her.
No, it's the other girls.
Uh huh.
Yeah, but she don't like play with with
With
her.
with them, okay.
No, with them. Yeah,
Why? Why she doesn't want?
I don't know why.
Okay. It's okay. We can choose what we want. We could choose our friends, just like your daughter. All right. So we've done discussing this part, right, on page 7. Do you still remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Mhm.
Next, I gave you a homework.
Mhm.
Excuse me. So this is about present simple, about positive and negative. So we have the I, you, we, and they. These are pronouns.
Mhm.
So it says here, can you read this, please?
Okay. Read the text again and find three negative verbs. Okay. Continue. Grammar. Complete. Complete the gaps. I live. I live in a flat. You go to work by bus. We have dinner in a restaurant. They work in an office.
Mm-hmm.
I don't live in a flat. You don't go to work by bus. We don't have dinner in the restaurant. They don't work in an office.
Okay. All right. So all of your answers are correct. Now, on the first part that you have read, so this part, so number 1. So, but then for the grammar part, all of your answers are correct. Now, I want you to find 3 negative verbs from the text. well, basically that's on page, do you remember about Amrita?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here. So that's on page 2. Can you find 3 negative verbs from this passage or from this text?
Mm-hmm. Native verb. Mm-hmm. Here we
Yep.
don't. Mm, they don't live in afraid.
Okay, so this is one.
Mm, this one. And they don't go to work.
Okay, there you go. So those are the 3 negative statements. Alright, so let's move on to the next part. So let me just put a check mark on your answers real quick. Okay, so while I'm putting check mark on your answers, can you go ahead and read practice number 1, please?
Okay. Complete the sentence and add more information to make them true for you. I don't live in a house. I live in flat. I get up very early. I don't have breakfast with my family. I don't go to work by bus. I don't have lunch in a coffee. I don't go out a lot of in the evenings. I study in the evening. I go to bed early.
Okay. So it says here, complete the sentences and add more information to make them true for you. So we have an example here. So the first sentence, it says here, I don't live in a house. So this is negative, right? So
Mm-hmm.
to make it right, the answer is I live in a flat. So this is already true. Now,
Mm-hmm.
here.
I get up early.
So do you get up very early, Hector?
Yes.
Okay. So this one is true for you. Next.
Yes.
It says here, I don't have breakfast with my family.
Mm-hmm.
So this is true.
I need, yeah. So I need add more information.
Yep. So,
By myself. Right.
okay. Next. I don't go to work by bus.
Okay, I go to work by MRT.
Next, number 4. I don't have lunch in a cafe. I don't go out a lot in the evenings.
I stay at home a lot in the evening.
Next, I study in the evening. So this is true. I go to bed early.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Can you go ahead and read the additional information you've added. So for number 1, none. Number 2.
Okay. I don't have breakfast with my family. I have breakfast by myself.
Alright.
I don't go to work by bus. I go to work by MRT.
Number 4.
I don't have lunch in a coffee. I have lunch in a restaurant.
Okay, one more thing. This is cafe.
Cafe, okay. Cafe.
Next, number 5.
I don't go out a lot in the evening. I stay at home a lot in the evening.
Evenings with an S.
Evenings.
Alright. Okay, so we're good. Next, write sentences about you using the ideas in the box. Did you answer this?
Yeah, maybe.
No, you didn't.
I see. I did.
Okay, so I want you to go ahead and use these ideas in the box in a sentence. So let's start with live in a small town. Do you live in a small town?
No, I don't live in a small town.
Right. So you could go ahead and put your sentence here.
I've done it before.
What?
Live in a small town. I live in a big town. Okay. Let's go to restaurant a lot. Go to restaurant a lot. Okay. I don't have a big meal for lunch. I have a light food for lunch. I live on my own. You go to bed. Don't go bed after midnight. Don't get up late at the weekend. Okay.
Alright, so let's go ahead and review your answers. Let's start with first sentence. Can you read it, please?
Okay. I don't live in a small town. I live in a big town.
Okay. Next.
I have go to restaurant a lot.
Okay, you said I have go to restaurants a lot.
No.
No. So
Yeah, I go to.
there you go. So you don't need to use the word have.
Yep.
So I go to restaurants a lot. All right.
Yep.
Third sentence.
I don't have a big meal for lunch. I have a light food for lunch.
Okay. Or you could just use the same word, light meal. I have a light meal for lunch.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's better if you're gonna use the word meal.
Meal.
All right, next sentence, please.
Okay. I live on my own.
Do you live on your own?
Yes. Own house, right?
Well, it says here, I live on my own, which means you are living alone.
Really?
Yeah. It doesn't mention if you're living in your own house or your own flat or your own apartment. But technically, the sentence means that I live on my own, which means you're alone. You're living, yeah.
So I don't live on my own.
Yeah.
I don't live on my own. I live with my family.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, next sentence.
I don't go to bed after midnight. I go to bed early.
All right, good. Next sentence.
I don't have a big family. I have 5 people in my family.
Okay. Next.
I don't get up late at the weekend. I get up early at the weekend.
Okay, next.
I start I study a lot at weekend. I study. I study a lot at the weekend.
Okay, next sentence.
I work very long hours.
Next.
I don't get up before 6 a.m.
Alright.
I get up before 7 a.m.
Okay.
I study English after work. I don't work at home. I work at my office.
Okay, good. Next. It says here, work in pairs and compare your answers. Find 6 things you have in common. So we have samples here.
Okay, work in pair or compare US.
So it's gonna be me, of course. I'll be your partner. So we live in a small town. Yes. So we don't have big meal for lunch. Well, for me, I have big meal for lunch. It is because I seldom eat breakfast. Yeah, so I really need to eat big meal during lunch. So next, so I don't go to a restaurant. I just eat at home. What else? I don't live on my own. I live in my family. So I think that's, so what's common between us?
We live with our family.
Okay. Next. Get up late at the weekend. So
Or
I actually wake up early. I get up early at the weekend, especially if my baby already wakes up.
I know.
Yeah, even though I want to stay on bed, longer than,
But you can't.
but I can't, exactly. The next, I study a lot at the weekend. Well, no, I don't study at the weekend. I go to bed after midnight. Yes. If I don't have work in the evening, but normally I don't sleep in the evening. So I have a big family. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including me. So there are 6 people in my family. Well, technically 7, including my husband. So, well, I think you mentioned here I don't have a big family, but you have 5 people in your family. 5 people, well, if we're gonna have the percentage, 5 is already big one. Yeah, because they say that if you just have one child, that's the only time they could say that you have a small family.
Oh.
So if that's the case, then, if you could say that you don't have a big family, but there are 5 people in your family, so most likely we're a bit in common because it's more than 5. Or for you, there are 5 people. Okay. Next, get up before 6 a.m. So you said I don't get up before 6 a.m. I get up before 7 a.m. So like I've said, I'm still about to sleep during this time. but sometimes if my son is already awake, so I don't need as much as I wanted to sleep, but I can't. So we're not common. We're not the same on this part. And then next, I study English after work. No, for me, I teach English after work.
Yeah.
And here, I don't work at home. I work at my office, so it's the other way around. So I work at home. Yeah, so how many statements or sentences do we have in common? We're able to...
Say, take a call. We have a big family. We have a big family, and we get up before 6 a.m.
Okay. So how many sentences do we have in common? So were we able to, or were you able to find 6 things?
I think only 4 things.
Yeah, just 4, right?
Just 4.
Right. Alrighty. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. So that's gonna be, or before we move on, Hector, do you have any question about previous topic or our more current topic now?
No.
Alright, you're good. Are you good? No question?
Yeah.
Alrighty, wonderful. Next. So it says here, can you read this, please?
Okay. Present simple questions and show answer. I, you, me, and they.
Alright. Okay, so for this part, I'm gonna give you this as a homework because you need to listen to the speech of Neil.
Listen to him talking about.
Including, so that's gonna be letter A and letter B. Okay, so let's go now to grammar, this part. So it says here, can you read this?
Pardon? I think the A part. I need listen. Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Grammar. To make questions and show answers, we use do or don't.
Okay. So we have an example here. Can you read the question?
Do you have breakfast at home?
And the answer is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Next.
Do you work in an office? No, I don't.
All right, very good. I like the intonation, how you read it with, with an expression. I like that. Now, let's go ahead and make 5 questions using do, and then another 5 sentences using don't.
Okay.
All right, so let's start.
Okay.
So what question?
Do you at home now? Yes, I do. Do you?
Okay, so you could just try to construct questions. Then later we'll go ahead and answer it. Yeah, it's okay for number 1, and that's fine. So you could just move on with number 2.
Okay. Thank you. For papers.
Alright, so let's go over.
Oh, 5? 4.
5.
5.
Yes, one more.
Okay.
Alright, so first sentence or first question. Can you read the first question?
Okay. Do you at home now? Yes, I do.
Okay. Does it sound right? If you're gonna ask, do you at home now? Well, technically, if you're gonna ask, if you are already at home, you don't ask, do you at home? You actually ask, are you at home now?
Are you at home?
Yeah, that's the right question. If you're gonna ask, let's say your son or your wife, are you at home now? And the answer of your wife would be, yes, I do, or yes, I am. But your sentence or your question is incorrect. You could just say, because if you're gonna say, do you at home now? You don't ask that question. You should ask, are you at home now? But if we're going to correct your question, it should be like this. Or you could just ask, do you go home early? Or do you go home late? Then your answer would be, yes, I do. Just this part that you made a mistake. Can you make another sentence asking about going home? Can you think of other question?
Okay. Right?
By own, or do you go home? You could just say no. If you're asking, let's say you're asking me a question, do you go home alone? Yeah, you could just say that.
Alone?
Yeah, or do you go home with someone else? Or maybe do you go home with your friends? Or do you go home with your husband or with your wife? There. Okay, so your sentence right now is correct. And the answer here is yes, I do. Alright, next question.
Okay. Do you go to school by bus? No, I don't. I go to school by walk.
Okay, here by walk. I go to school. You don't actually say by walk. Because if you're gonna say by walk, walk it's a verb. So you should use a noun, just like this. By bus. So what do you think can you change walk?
Walking?
No. I go to school. Yeah, you could say by walking. Or you could say I go to school by foot, which means you are walking. But you could also say, yeah, I go to school by walking.
Can I just say I walk to school?
Yeah, that's also, simple to avoid any errors with your sentence. So, do you go to school by bus? And what's your answer?
No, I don't. I walk to school.
Okay. I walk to school. Okay. Next.
Do you like Chinese food? Yes, I do.
Alright, so your sentence here is correct. Next.
Do you sitting on the chair now?
Okay.
No, I don't. I stand. I'm standing now.
Okay. So your question here is somewhat similar to your question on number 1. So what do you think is wrong on your question? You don't ask that. You don't ask a question, do you sitting on the chair now? But the normal or the correct way of asking that is, are you sitting on the chair now? Right?
Okay, so I change to okay.
Okay, I want you to read your question again. Can you read this question?
Okay, do you have sitting on the small chair? Yes, I do.
Does it sound right? So, do you have sitting? No, that's also incorrect. You should ask. You can say, do you like sitting? You don't say, do you have? Because you're asking of something that you have. Do you like sitting on a small chair? So if we're going to use the word do, you don't say. Or you could say, do you have a small chair? That's another question. Do you have a small chair? Then the answer is yes, I do. Do you understand how you construct sentences using the word do or the question do you?
Do you have? Do you like? Do you?
Alright, Can you try and make another question using about small chair?
Small chair, like have. Small chair. Small chair. No idea.
No idea.
Yeah, like have some other word,
Yeah.
but about small chair. You have to.
Okay. So what about try to make another sentence then? Instead of just using small chair. Just make another question.
Okay. More. Break. Do you like play piano?
Okay. There. See? Wait. Do you like play piano? Ah. You don't also.
No.
So what's wrong on your question?
Play, right? You like.
Yeah, the verb play is correct. Here you go. So, do you like playing piano or do you like playing soccer? Do you enjoy watching movies there? Okay. And then the answer is yes, I do. Good. Next, question number 5.
Do you have a professional skill? Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. So for question number 5, that's correct. So you could just go ahead and do this homework. So we will definitely go over on the questions here. So you could also review how the questions are. And then I want you to already to make questions using don't. So make 10 questions using don't. Make questions in short answer using don't. So make five questions. So next Wednesday we'll go ahead and discuss this faster. All right? Okay. Do you have any question, Hector?
No.
All right. Well, okay. That's it for now. Thank you, and have a great evening. You're welcome. Goodbye now.
Okay. Goodbye.